All right, just got the Holzfforma g660 saw. It's a 92cc saw. We got the 36-inch bar on it. I got this a few days ago. Just filled it with bar oil, two-stroke mix. We'll run about 40 to 1. They recommend 50 to 1, but I figure for the break-in, richen up the oil just a hair. It's not going to hurt nothing. We're going to try it out, do a first start on it, and then we'll run it at kind of a low RPM for 2 to 3 minutes. Kind of break the chain in a little bit. I did adjust the tension, but it will stretch just a hair. See that? But let's try it out, see what we get. So you have to hit the throttle to move the choke lever. All the way down is cold, up one click is warm start, up to the third click is on, and then all the way up is off. It does have a decompression valve. It does not have a primer bulb, so we may have to pull it a few times to get it to prime. We'll go up to warm start now. Overall, that was actually a pretty easy start. I mean, that was brand new out of the box. Peeled the chain already though. So I knew it was going to stretch just a little bit, so I wanted to run it like that. Also give us time to prime the bar oiler. We'll need to check that out. You want it to be flinging a fine mist off the end of the bar. Real fine. Like if you hold that up against a log and just let it run, you should have a small line of oil there. So I don't see it doing that. We'll check it out. We're going to readjust that chain. And then we'll start harvesting some big firewood. I got some big cottonwoods that fell down in the bottom of my property here. And me and 2 of my viewers together probably couldn't reach all the way around the sides of these trees. That's why we went full retard. Bought this saw with the 36-inch bar. Saw some mixed reviews on this saw. A lot of guys said the pull cord for the recoil starter breaks the string quite often, which I'm not worried about that. I got so much stuff around here with recoil starters. Once it does break the string, honestly, I just replace it with 550 cord. It's thin, very, very strong. Let's get this chain tightened up a little bit, and then we'll run it some more. Carburetor seems like it's tuned pretty good. I didn't go wide open on it. Once again, it is just a first start. But we may need to adjust the low side just a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. Here's your high, here's your low. So we may need to adjust those a little bit. I noticed that the chain was still trying to spin when it was idling. Very, very slowly though. I mean, honestly, I'm not that worried about it. And we may run a few tankfuls through it and see what it does after that, and then adjust the carbs from there. It does come pre-tuned, but my elevation up here is, I'm probably 5,000 feet above sea level. So sometimes I gotta lean them out just a little bit. Morning, buddy. What are you doing? Oh, you going to pee? Going to pee on one of the fruit trees? I'm getting your chainsaw working for you. This was too heavy for me, so you're going to have to use this one.
already got one. We're good.
No, I told him that this saw is way too heavy for me, so this can be his saw.
Oh.
Let's tighten this chain up just a little bit.
This was so tiny. It's so tiny.
There we go. Then you want to hold the bar up when you tighten these up. No matter how tight you get these, it's going to move as you're running it. So you want to keep it lifted up. That's generally how the saw is going to spend 90% of its cut time anyway.
Are you filming? Or are you
Yeah.
just taking us?
No, I'm filming. I'm talking to everybody that's watching right
Oh,
now.
okay. Sorry.
You guys trying to ruin my video or
I'm
what?
sorry. Here, hold down the breakfast, please. Okay, we'll finish up yours. Unless you want to eat that one, and then I'll finish it down.
That's fine.
You can figure it out.
All right. There's my boy. He's the one that's going to be running that big saw because I'm old and lazy. What are you doing, buddy? Hanging out with your dirt bike? This dirt bike was a dumpster find. He found it in the trash, drug it home. It's an 80cc shifter bike, 3 speeds. Cost me about $80 to get it up and running for him. That's 2 new tubes and tires. We replaced these brakes. The front, well you can't see it, the front and the back brake, because the little window there always rots out, leaked out all the brake fluid. And we put a new kill switch on it. I replaced the carburetor, just a Chinese carb, you know, probably, I don't know, 15 bucks. And then we got it running and tuned it, and that's it. He just rips it up on this thing, free dirt bike. Cost me, like I said, about 80 bucks to get it running. He doesn't know about the tax man yet. But he does owe me $279 for parts, labor, and all that. But he loves it. Alright, so here's that oil screw for the bar oil. You guys can see it way in there. It's right in here. It's a little guy, and obviously, you know, it tells you which way to turn it to increase or decrease the amount of oil going to the chain. So we just did that. First start, we ran it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. I checked out the chain. It is still dry. I wipe my fingers across it and I get like just a little bit of that metal dust. See if you guys can see this. Yeah, you guys see that? A little bit of that metal dust on there. No real oil yet. We're going to increase this oil pump till at least till we can get primed and start getting oil. It came with this little toolkit thing. But it had a blowout. It was like that. That's how I received it. Had that little blowout there. So I just put everything in a freezer bag, or a big, like a 1-gallon sandwich baggie. But anyway, let's turn that oil pump a little bit, increase the flow. We can do another run and see how it's oiling. You typically want to flip these bars every time you sharpen the chain. Flip the bar 180. So you're not only wearing on the one side. Oh, it's already... Oh boy, you don't get much room to move it. I mean, you only get 1/16 of a turn. So it was already on the max setting. So we may need to take the bar off, make sure there's not something in there obstructing the oil feed tube. And just make sure we don't have maybe something from the factory, a piece of a wrap or anything. Maybe could have gotten plugged up the oil hole where it feeds the chain. So we'll check all that out. We'll see what's going on with it. So I flipped it over. There's like a fine mist here. That may be the oil. I may not have ran it long enough to prime it all the way, but it looks like we started getting some oil moving. Like I said, the oil setting was already maxed out on max flow. So I don't know if we want to run it for just another couple of minutes. You know, light throttle, light load. And see if we can get it to prime. Or do we want to take this cover off and just mess around? I mean, we did only run it for a few minutes. Look at here. Look at here. You guys see that? Oil running down. That's bar oil right there. Well, that solved it for me. We're going to take that cover off. Obviously, we got a piece of debris, some debris or something in there between the seal and the bar. So let's get that off there. We'll check it out. Well, surprisingly, there's no seal on this one. This is kind of a cheaper saw. But normally you'll have like a rubber seal. Like my Husqvarna has a rubber seal right here. That's what you're looking at. There you go. It has a rubber seal right in here. Goes around this so that the oil only can come through these, either this feed hole or on the other side of the bar. It has this same hole on this side here. So it kind of fills this channel here with oil, and then the chain just drags that oil around. But like I said, this one doesn't have a seal. We may have just not ran it long enough. This is supposed to snag the chain if it comes off, or if the chain breaks. This is supposed to snag it so it'll hook into this instead of coming off and just destroying your leg in a free-for-all. So let's get her back together. We'll see how it does. This one may just be a leaker, like I said, with no seal right there. My Husqvarna does have a seal right there, but it still leaks, so it's like a seal failure, or maybe there was a piece of sawdust in there for quite a while and it kind of formed it to that shape, which is now letting it leak there. Let's get her back together though. We'll see how she does. So one other thing, guys, there's all the bar information kind of stamped on there. It's 36-inch 3/8 pitch, 063, which is your guide thickness, and it's 114 drive links for the chain. The only thing, and this is not a knock on the manufacturer, I just probably didn't catch it when I bought this, it doesn't have the sprocket in here. It's just the hard nose type. So I guess if I'd paid a little attention, I would have got the other bar that has the sprocket, but honestly, bars and chains aren't that expensive. I mean, even for a 36 with a chain, you're looking, anywhere from, I don't know, $60 to $180, depends how fancy you want to get. But like I said, so far that's my only complaint, and it's really not even a complaint. It's just, I probably just wasn't paying attention when I bought it. But there's no sprocket here, it's just hard nose. Got the chain back on. That's kind of a monster to wrestle, such a long chain, But I like to start up here at the nose and work it around. Just because the more that you get into the guide there for the bar, the more the chain wants to hold itself for you. But still, kind of tough to get it over that sprocket there. Anyway, let's continue on. We're going to retighten this chain now. You can see some of my links. Where's it at? I had one of them that was kind of kinked over, like it was bent, something like this. It must have came out with my messing around with it. But that's what I mean by breaking it in. You just want to run it for just a few minutes, and just get it used to moving. Each one of these rivets, get them each used to going through their range of motion. And then, like I said, you'll have to retighten the chain. New chain, I'm going to have to tighten this chain probably every cut for the first hour, I'd say, of the day today. One more thing, this is that sprocket I was talking about. I wish the Holzfforma or Farmertech saw came with that. But like I said, that's not a knock against the manufacturer. That's just, I probably didn't recognize it or didn't realize it when I ordered the bar, because I ordered it was just the power head itself, no bar, no chain. So that could have just been my bad right there. But I definitely would have preferred to have the sprocket. That's where you would clean that out and then grease that with a needle injector, like similar to what you'd use on impacts, things like that. Well, so here's the plan. Taurus is stuck in park. We got her chained to the old Blazer there, and we'll see if I can't just drive out from underneath of it. We'll see how it goes.
Alright guys, my dad right now is trying, because if you see right there, there's a cable hooked up to the Taurus. I think that's what it's called. And he's just trying to drive out of it, but it's stuck in park. So it's got to skid across. It's working. Now we only have, well, now we kind of only have one problem. is that we gotta get the Taurus from there up to there. We made it! Now that rope, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this rope that's right there, it's like a tight rope now. Right now, I think my dad is trying to just make it flat across there, and then we're gonna lower the bed, and then we should be good.
Try and walk across that tightrope, boy. Oh, is that all the best you can do? I feel like you're not even trying. All right, get to the middle, do a double front flip. You can't just start in the middle, cheater.
So we've just finished cutting the wood over there, and now this is what we have. This is our result up to that. And now we are going to cut some of this wood and winch it up, and then we're gonna cut little lengths of this, winch it up to somewhere around here. And then we're just gonna cut it there, load it on the trailer, and then, yeah.
You like my pink earmuffs?
Yeah.
These are your sisters. First pair that I found.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're back. Right now, we are trying to pull out this big old branch right now with the winch. Right there. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Trying to pull this big old nasty log out. At least just up here because it's flat right there. And yeah, we're just gonna cut it, stack it on our trailer, and then yeah.
I don't know, bud. We might not be able to get this one.
Think it's too heavy? Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, but we're trying to winch the log up, and it's moving the trailer and the truck. It's moving both of them this way towards us. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I'll get a better view for you guys. Oh, never mind.
I don't know, buddy. Just dragging my truck over.
And the trailer.
And the trailer.
It's a big one.
Well, I was hoping that we get enough tension it would roll it this way. That didn't happen at all. We'll just have to cut it in place.
It's gonna be hard. Look how big it is.
I know. We'll just drag the pieces up that I cut.
Yeah.
And then I'll cut bar lengths on the big saw.
Alright.
Well, there's the carnage. Bent my fair lead. It was kind of side loaded. Pretty hard there, but what could you say, right? Hindsight's always 20/20. So we'll just tear that apart later on. It'll be another video. We got torches, welders. We know how to make metal move. So we'll get all that squared away, button it back up.
Alright guys, we're gonna use this big nasty chainsaw. Pretty sure this is our first time, but let's see what happens. Sorry about the noise. That thing is gnarly. Wow. Pulls a lot. We're already smoking. was smoke coming from, I don't know, but there's smoke coming from the top whenever he first started. And if you look, the chainsaw, it's going, and he's going the front first, and then the back. Front, back, front, back.
All right, we're making another chain adjustment. Didn't even make our first full cut. That log is actually wider than the bar. It's gonna be hot, bud. But overall, I mean, the cut's good. It's got plenty of power. It's not bogging down. Of course, I'm not forcing it into the log real hard either. That's hot.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but whenever he first started cutting, it started smoking. Did you see that? I started smoking?
Oh, the saw was?
Yeah.
I did make the oil just a little rich.
Oh.
It wants 50 to 1, we're running 40 to 1, which is not gonna hurt nothing. This tensioner is a little jacked up. Almost like there's a burr on the threads. You hit a certain spot and you gotta almost fight with it. This bar is quite hot.
Barely used it. Like not even 5 minutes, and it's so hot.
And that's a big chain too.
Yeah. Just trying to cut a lot of wood. We'll see. What's wrong? Hi, Clyde. Say hi. Yeah. Pretty soon, guys, I might start making videos of me riding my dirt bike. I don't know. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can smell it and see it just barely. So, like, right above the log that my dad's cutting, there's a bunch of smoke. It's just because it keeps getting so hot. In a second, I'll show you guys what he's trying to cut right now. There's a big one. Alright guys, I'm gonna go show you how big it is.
It's so heavy, man. It just wears me out carrying it.
Yeah. This is a log compared to my hand. It's a big one. I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but that's my hand right there next to it. It's big. Pretty long too. Switching it to right here. It's quite big. Hi, buddy. Yeah, quite big. See you guys in the next one. Alrighty. After pretty much most of the day's worth of work, we got this little bit. These ones we had to carry up without the winch from down here. And we have pretty much almost a full trailer, I guess.
Almost a full trailer.
Not really.
40 feet long. We got like 7 feet.
We've done quite a bit.
Good try though, bud. I like your optimism there. We almost got a whole trailer, guys.
I would help, but I can't even move those. Alright guys, that's about it. We'll see you in the next one.
A quick update on the saw. So I've run 1 full tank of fuel through it, and I used approximately half a tank of bar oil. I do have the oiler adjusted all the way to maximum flow. I mean, you can see the bar doesn't appear to be getting hot. I mean, I'm not using it relentlessly, you know. I'll make 3 or 4 cuts, and then I'll let everything cool off. Like I said, the chain's still breaking and everything, but I wish it oiled more. So I feel like maybe the 36-inch bar that's kind of at the upper edge of the capacity. This is 92 cc's, 7 horse. 36-inch bar is like the highest recommended or longest recommended bar. But I feel like it maybe on the slightly starving it for oil side. No signs of it getting hot yet, but I may need to look into like a high output bar oiler. The next saw size, this one's 92 cc's. The next saw size bigger is 105 cc's, I believe. And that one is recommended up to a 48-inch bar. So I guess maybe in hindsight, maybe I should have got the next size bigger with the 36-inch bar as far as oiling goes. But those oilers are only about 30-40 bucks, and you can get the high output. I do believe this is like a steel clone. A lot of the parts you could use are the same as like the steel, I believe it's the MS660. But anyway, those are my closing thoughts on it right now. Plenty of power. It cuts real good, real smooth. It is heavy. It is a beast of a chainsaw. I believe just the power head is 17 pounds, and then the bar is probably another 12 pounds, maybe 13 pounds, somewhere in there. So she's quite stout. But like I said, right now my only complaint really is I just wish it oiled a little more. I don't get it flinging that little bit of oil off the end of the bar like my Husqvarna does. And so far I haven't found any adjustments on the Husqvarna for the oiler side of it. This one does have an adjustment. It's on the underside of it. Right there, you can see that. And I do have it turned all the way to maximum flow. I mean, there is bar oil residue. Like I said, it's not running dry. I just wish it would oil a little more. It'd be nice if I could have it slightly over oiling and dial it back with that adjustment versus having it maxed out and still wishing that it oil, you know, give me 10 to 20% more oil flow.